about your place on Water's Edge Lane. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Just trying.
Well, I'm the fastest in the West and better than the rest, so I'll make it real easy on you here.
Okay.
So I'll just do kind of a quick overview, right? So I have some notes on here. It sounds like you guys have been chatting, and you had previously went to list it, and it didn't quite work out. And there's a couple, investors and wholesalers kind of knocking at your door, trying to see if we can put a deal together, and no one's had any luck yet in making it a win-win. Does that sound about right?
Right. Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, awesome. Well, my job's pretty easy. I'm just kind of stuck in the middle. I've got, the seller on one side pulling on one arm, and then I've got my decision makers that write the checks and everything on the other arm pulling on me. And the way I get paid is if I'm able to, reconcile something and, that everyone can live with and make a win-win. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to chat with you real quick. It says you're looking to buy another house pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have an idea if you had like a magic wand and everything went perfect, like how quickly you'd want this all to come together?
If we can walk away with everything we need, I'm perfectly fine and trying to find us our new home now.
Awesome. Okay. So you don't quite have one selected and you're not under contract with the new one yet, but you're moving that direction?
Correct. But we've just been looking a little bit, so.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I get it. Yeah, there's a couple moving parts there, and you definitely want to measure twice and cut once because you don't want to get in a bad situation. So I totally get that.
Right.
Okay. And it's saying here the property's like 8 years old. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. And let me just do a quick little breeze through here. Is there anything you can think of that might need any maintenance or repair or anything that we'd want to be aware of as a buyer?
Yeah, the house is in good condition. The only thing that I would do is probably paint. That's
Okay.
it. And really, truly, you don't have to, but that's what I would do.
Okay. It's not hot pink inside or anything, is it?
No, it's not. It's that grayish color, that light gray, and so everybody may not like the light gray color that I like. They may want white walls, so that's
okay.
Paint.
Oh, and
white walls.
I just pulled it up here. Okay, and I see it. No, it looks good. I like it. It's like a nice neutral tone and kind of warm.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's funny. We were looking at a house the other day where they painted the outside of it like a Pepto-Bismol, like my 4-year-old daughter would love it. It was like a Barbie house, but
oh wow.
it was either you were gonna love it or not want it. You know what I mean? So it was kind of tough. We ended up painting it just like an earth tone. But okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. That pink has to go.
So I'm checking it out and it's showing up. I just pulled it up. It's showing up as it's still listed. Is that the case? Is it still on the market?
No, it's not. I've been working with I explained to Nellie, it's my bestie, that she's a realtor. So she had the home up for sale, but no, it's not. And I told her the other day to make sure she takes it off of the MLS?
MLS, yeah.
Yeah, and she said she was going to get it taken care of, but I guess she hasn't if you still see it.
Okay, and it's on Zillow. It's funny because I have like a couple different data sources, and on Zillow it's showing as listed, but as on my one that is like one that we pay for that goes directly into the MLS, it was showing as it was only on the market for 13 days back in what is that? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. In September, sorry. I had a senior moment there, forgive me.
No. It's okay. No, it actually went off the market at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that might be just a gap in the data then, on my end, because the software is pulling from multiple places and it's not always perfect. So no problem there. Okay. And it's showing on Zillow as the list price is 510,000. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is your bestie cutting you any sort of special deal on the commission and everything?
Well, she's not looking for a commission or anything because, we put our best foot forward, in trying and I guess the market is just not, it's a 6-bedroom home, so, a lot of people may not want to come and get a 6-bedroom home. I don't know. But,
Sure.
she has, she's fine. She knows she's just going to find us a house. So she's cool with making money off of that part.
Oh, okay. She's gonna help you on the other end when you get your new place, and that's where
Correct.
she'll get what she needs. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this place is massive. It's like 5,500 square feet. Holy moly.
Yeah.
You could have the whole Brady Bunch in there. Okay. Yeah, and so I'm guessing what it's just going to be like 3% for the buyer's agent, and then you won't have to pay the listing agent, right? Is that kind of where it would be?
When I get ready to find my new home?
No, I'm saying like I'm guessing, right? She offered a commission for the if a buyer brought the buyer's agent, right? Because normally the seller will pay both sides of the commission. For like the buyers, it's normally like 3%. I'm looking through here. Oh, I see 2.5%.
No, she's not. She's not selling my home anymore. So she's allowing me to see what I could get from the investor.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she's allowing me to do that separately. So she doesn't have anything to do with that portion.
Okay.
She's like, okay, whatever will make you happy to find, so you could go ahead and get out your home and get your new home, then yeah. I'll walk away from it. So we're besties, so she's cool, and she knows she's gonna find us a new home, so she's cool with that.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because it's showing up on here. Like it even has a little button where you can like request a tour and contact the agent. It's showing the agent, Miss Rogers, right? Does that sound right? That's the bestie?
LaQuetta, yes.
Okay.
Rogers.
Okay. And I did like the math real quick. So it looks like if there was a full price offer, I know it's not supposed to be listed for this, but like, like investors and everything will see this where like if there's a full price offer, the 2.5% commission that they're offering would come to, holy moly, I must be in the wrong business, because it's coming out to like $12,750 for the buyer's agent. So that would put you roughly at $498 if someone were to take y'all up on that. Okay. And have you made up your mind that you're going to definitely sell the house, or are you still kind of weighing out your options on that?
Well, yeah, it's a definite that I'm gonna sell it. I'm just I have another offer that I'm waiting on to come, and they're gonna get back with me hopefully by the end of the week, and they'll let me know what they plan on trying to offer. So I'm just sitting around and I'm just waiting for the right offer. Whoever comes with the best offer.
Nice.
So basically that's what we're doing. Because, like I told Natalie, I got to have a certain amount in order for me to walk away from my home, because the things that I need to do when I move into my new home. So that's the reason why I have to have what I need in order to move.
Understandable. Okay. Yeah, and it's showing, I don't know if this is correct, but it's showing on my software that the mortgage balance they're thinking is maybe a little bit below 225. Does that sound about right?
No, I actually just got the payoff and it's 250.
250. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, then it was showing up too. I don't know, this might be old, but it was showing like on that there was like a little HOA lien on there too. This is like $2,300 or something like that.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It is.
I hate
And
HOAs.
I paid, it was like, because we got mad with the HOA out here, and I said I wasn't doing nothing else because we don't have a community pool, we don't have anything, the only thing we have is lights. And so, I end up paying the $6,000, so the $2,300 is what's left. So I'll take care of that.
Okay. Yeah, I talked to a guy like maybe a year and a half ago, and he had got some settlement from the military. He was like a vet, and he bought this really nice. It was like almost $1 million house, and they had a problem with a tree in a storm. And the HOA, I guess there was some Karen running it, and then some other guy that was an attorney, and they gave him so much trouble about this tree that they literally went and started foreclosing on his house, and he had a free and clear house they were about to try to take away from him, and he had like fought for our country and like put his life on the line, and now he's dealing with some Karen and some lawyer giving him hell about this tree. It's crazy.
It is. That's why I don't want to do HOA ever again. Never again, because they're crazy. They're crazy. But they just found out about me, so.
You let them know? They thought they had the right one, and they did, so no.
Yeah, do whatever you gotta do. I don't care, because y'all they're crazy out here.
Okay. Are you thinking you're going to be somewhere, just no HOA and maybe a little bit of land and some elbow room and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. We've been looking at some things like that, and it's one that we really like. It's still on the market, so maybe. We'll see.
There you go. One thing I would just advise you of, right? And I'll take off my work hat and just put on my like human being hat, right? Like if you're like my cousin or my sister or something, I would just tell you like when this other offer comes in, one thing I would be aware of is two things that you can look at to make sure that you don't get put in a bad situation. One is going to be the earnest money. So earnest money is like a deposit that the buyer puts in to show that they're serious and not curious. And you want to be careful, right? Because if you have, and here's the thing, and you may already know about this, but I always just like to explain this just because I've seen good people get put in some bad situations where there's folks out there, they're called wholesalers. And there's nothing wrong with wholesaling. Like if you tell people what you're doing and everybody knows what they're getting into and agrees, it actually, in the right situation, it's a win-win for everybody, where the seller doesn't have to deal with all the hassle. But like some people will make an offer and they'll say, hey, I'm a cash buyer, I'm buying your house, but they could be sleeping in their grandma's basement without 2 nickels to rub together. And they watched a couple YouTube videos and they got $37 in their bank account, and they're here making an offer on your, almost $500,000 place. And they turn around and they try to resell the contract to an actual buyer, at which, hey, if they tell you what they're doing and they know what they're doing, it's not a bad thing. It'll save you hassle. But a lot of times they don't know what they're doing, because basically all you need is a telephone to call yourself a cash buyer and a computer to send a contract. And some of them will make offers just to lock it up. Maybe, they're innocent, they're not bad people, but they don't know how to run their numbers. And then sometimes they'll get embarrassed at the end and run away, or they'll try to do a big price drop once you've moved all your stuff out, you've put in an offer on a new house, you got your bags packed and thinking you're getting this great deal, and then come to find out there's no earnest money, they're not actually buying the property, they'll give you some lame excuse at the end. And then even worse, like there's some people that I hate to call them bad people, but it is what it is, because it's really kind of a despicable thing. They'll lock it up knowing full and well they're not going to close at that price, and they'll wait until you're vulnerable, and then they'll put you at a headlock at the end and say, hey, look, we really have to be at 400,000, otherwise we're backing out and the deal's off. And they put people in a position where you're like, oh man, you know what I mean, where you don't really have any other options. I'm just telling you, right? This may be something you're already aware of, but like, you seem like a nice gal, and I've unfortunately, have to clean up the aftermath on these a lot, where people, just totally get messed over on this, and their life's in shambles, and then the wholesaler kind of gets off scot-free, you know what I mean? And
yes.
So I would just be very careful. So look at the earnest money, and then also the inspection period should be really short. If they're a real cash buyer, it should be 7 days or less. Like if you see 30 days, 60 days, they ain't a cash buyer. They're a wholesaler, 100%. I'd bet my firstborn on it. 10 times out of 10. So those are the two distinctions. Now, if you're fine with working with a wholesaler and, because they do provide speed and convenience, and it will be a win-win, but just know, like, here's the thing. With a cash buyer, I'm just trying to give you some realistic expectations. Like, you can take it for what it's worth, right? But if it's listed for 510 and it hasn't got any serious action, like I'm looking at the Zillow price on it, and the Zestimate, for whatever it's worth, is, the Zestimate, they're off all the time, but it's kind of like a good starting place, is putting it at 485.9. A legitimate cash buyer, right? The only really two plays that they have would be to buy it at a discount, add some money into it, and then sell it at a profit, right? But here's the thing, with the house being 8 years old, I mean, if you think about it, right? If you had like $1 million sitting in the bank to buy houses with, would you want to buy an 8-year-old house, and then that's 5,500 square feet, and then, you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine what it would cost to put a new kitchen in there? And there's not really a point, right? Because you could buy 3 ugly houses and then really remodel them and raise the value a whole bunch, and make a nice profit with a lot less risk. Because like, to go and remodel that, one, it doesn't need it, and if they wanted to put all the bells and whistles on it, like, you ain't gonna really do anything significant in there for less than 6 figures. I mean, it's 5,500 square feet. The thing is massive, and I'm looking at it. The floors look good. The walls look good. I'm just saying, like, if I were in your shoes, right, if there is some value to speed and convenience, we might be able to help you out with that. But if you're looking at like cash offers, it's probably going to be a tough one to make, because like, even as a rental, it's probably not going to make sense. Like, normally kind of the sweet spot is like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for a rental, or maybe a 4-bedroom. You know what I mean? But like, when you get to this huge house at this bigger price point, normally, especially with the interest rates as they are, it normally doesn't make very much sense as a rental for a professional landlord, because it's tying up a whole bunch of money, and you can make more renting out smaller, cheaper houses for, $2,500 than trying to rent out this big $500,000 house, for, they'd probably barely be covering the mortgage, because the rent estimate on this is like $3,200, right? So you could get $2,500 a month for a $250,000 house, or get $3,300 a month for a $500,000 house. It would make more sense to get two $250,000 houses and bring in $5,000 a month than to get one $500,000 house, right, and bring in $3,200, and then if there's a vacancy, you're getting nothing. You know what I mean? So it's a riskier investment. So Just so I have an idea, right? Because we have a couple different strategies that we use for newer houses like this, that could potentially be a fit. Do you have an idea where, or let me pull one other thing up real quick here. And sorry, I know I'm talking a lot. I'm trying to be helpful because I don't want to see you get in a bad spot.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. So I'm looking in the immediate area, right in your subdivision, and what I'm seeing for houses in between 4,400 and 6,600, which is roughly 10% of your square footage, I'm only seeing one sale. And this one's a little bit smaller than yours. It's got one less bedroom and one more bathroom, and it's 2 years older than yours. But this one's on Riverstone. It's 45 square feet compared to 5,500. And this one sold on the market. It was on the market for 75 days. And this sold right in the beginning of December. And I'm just going to pull up some listing photos real quick just to see, how it compares here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, one sec. Okay, just pulled it up. Oh yeah, this is a nice brick house, just like the subject property. I'm not seeing any pictures on this first site. I'm gonna try realtor.com. Oh, and it's just got pictures of the outside. Phooey. I'm gonna check one more site to see if I can pull up some photos. No, I'll at least look at the description. It says, "Welcome to the pinnacle of luxury living. This distinguished estate boasts an impressive 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's got a lot of fancy talk in here, but I'm trying to get to the actual meat. A lavish garden tub invites you to unwind. Gourmet kitchen is a culinary masterpiece." It looks like they wrote this with ChatGPT, and it's one huge paragraph too. I can always tell. I'm like, it's got a certain flavor to it when they pop it in ChatGPT. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little too fancy. Dining room is a showcase of architectural elegance adorned with graceful archways. So this one has a media room. So I don't know if that's a room with a TV in it or like a full-blown movie theater, a game room, home office.
It's like a little extra room.
Oh, okay. So this one sold for $525, right? And it's 135 Riverstone. But they originally listed it for $529 back in September, and they got an offer. It looks like a little bit less, actually right about 2 months later, and then it closed a couple weeks after that. So here's the thing. Here's kind of what's working against like this listing is one, and I'm just being honest with you, and this is coming from a good spirit, right? Because like the listing photos, I think that's one thing that is hurting what's going on with the current listing. And it's just because like a couple things, like the shades aren't opened up. It makes the house look dark because it has dark floors. There's a couple things that, like they would probably like normally, like for professional photos, they're gonna clear everything off the countertops. Like I've seen, it looks like a normal kitchen. Like we see some houses that like look rough. This house looks very nice. Like I can tell it's well taken care of, but there's like a blender and a coffee maker. And normally like they would just take all those things off, take off all the magnets. Like they want it to look like a model home, right?
Okay.
And then like the pictures, and especially when you get to this higher price point, like if the house was $150,000, it's not as big of a deal, but like when you get like, $500,000, people need to see the dream. You know what I mean? They got to look at that and be like, wow, you know what I mean? And
I understand.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I
And
believe that.
and then also too, if people are calling in, right, and they're not reaching anybody, like the fact too that it's on there that it's showing as it says 182 days on here, it makes it look like there might be something wrong with it just because it's been listed so long and it hasn't sold. It's kind of like being picked last for dodgeball or being the kid at the lunch
Right.
table that no one's sitting by. It's like, oh, what's wrong with them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So here's the thing. Like honestly, right? Taking off my investor hat, like do you have an idea, like, let's say the perfect scenario where you didn't have to spend any money, you didn't have to lift a finger, you didn't have to fix anything, you didn't have to do anything, right? Where basically the result was just delivered on a silver platter and it was certain everything was good. Did you have an idea what your bottom line would be for an offer like that?
I did tell Natalie that my bottom number would be 500.
Be 500,000. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Because it looks like now, like if there was a full price offer that came in, that would still kind of put you below that. So the tough thing would be, because here's the thing, like I'm being straight up with you. You can take it for what it's worth. You know, obviously, you know, we would love to buy the house, but like in all fairness, like we would have to be significantly below that. Like I won't say a number because I don't want you to get mad and hang up on me. But like again, like if you were my sister or my cousin or you know like a friend of mine, I would tell you your best bet at getting in that range is going to be getting a new agent. I would suggest calling an agent that has sold recently in that area at a high price point. But you're going to want an agent that's going to go in and get professional photos, that's going to really market it. Because, like, even if you gave 2.5% to each side of the agents, you would have to be at like 525 to end up walking away with that 500 overall price. And like you're not going to be, you know, if it's on the market for 182 days at this price and it hasn't sold, raising the price and keeping everything else the same isn't going to solve the problem. And I would be very weary of anyone that's making an offer. I would definitely look at the inspection period and the earnest money, because if they're making an offer at 500 and they could buy it right now for 510, at least as it's showing online. Like I know that's not the case, right? But public facing, that's what it looks like, is you could buy it at 500, make an offer on it, and just the buyer's commission would bring you below 500. So if you're an agent and you made an offer on it, you could end up walking away with only 498 out of your pocket at a full price offer. Now, 182 days listed, the chance of someone making a full price offer isn't that great, right? Because, hey, you know, people that are negotiating $500,000 purchases, they understand if it's been on the market a long time, the seller's likely going to be flexible. So, I mean, here's kind of your options, right? Option one would be to maybe rethink the marketing process and potentially go a different direction on the sell side. And, you know, your bestie, keep her on the buy side, right? But, you know, like what she's been trying with this, it's just not, you know, reality wise, it's just not getting us the result we were hoping for. And you may need to shift directions on that. And hopefully that doesn't damage your relationship. I'm sure she'll be great at helping you find one, you know, 'cause she's going to look for you. She knows you, knows what you want and everything like that. But, I mean, I would suggest maybe reconsidering like a different type of agent and getting new photos, decluttering. And it's not that your place is cluttered. That's just like a industry term. It means basically stripping it of any personal stuff so it looks like a model home and you can't tell who lives there or anything, right? It just looks like a blank canvas. That would be probably what I would suggest. That would be option one. Option two would be maybe taking it off the market for a while, kind of letting this listing go away, maybe doing some minor changes that aren't expensive, but would just give it a fresh appearance for when you put it back on, like maybe like doing the painting, right, for a couple $1,000, and then having it relisted then, and hopefully interest rates have gone down by then. Hopefully we're not in any new wars or bombing anybody new. Like, I hate to say it like that, right? But like the political side does play an effect of it. But like maybe giving it some time to cool off the market, and then giving it a new go with a little bit of a new makeover, something minor. I wouldn't go in there and, you know, spend 20 grand or anything, but doing some minor things. And there might be some new comps by then too that would support a higher sale price. But if like that 500 is really firm, that would be my suggestion. Because like an investor offer, I mean, it's definitely going to start with a 4 in a best case scenario. And if you got a bunch of investor offers, I would guess half of them would probably come in with a 3 in the front. And I know that's definitely not going to get you where you need to go. So I know this wasn't what you wanted to hear, but I'm just trying to be straight up with you. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not the right solution, I at least want to make sure that you get where you need to go, and you don't have people running you around in circles, and then this other guy makes an offer for 500,000 and then doesn't do anything with it, and you spend money and now you're worse off than where you started. So
Okay. Well, I appreciate your information, and I will talk with my husband about it, and we'll just go from there. Because we have taken it off the market, but we have thought about that as well, just leaving it off the market for a while if it doesn't fail with the investor or anything.
okay. And I hope the offer comes in, you know, will solve your problem. That would be awesome. Like that would be a godsend.
Yeah.
But I would be very cautious, because from what I'm seeing, if it is in that, you know, even high 4 range, I would make sure that there is the earnest money, the short inspection period. And here's another tricky thing that people do. They might even give you a fake proof of funds, where maybe it's like straight up fraud where it's photoshopped, or maybe it could be from, you can go on like a hard money lender website and they'll automatically just give you like $1 million proof of funds letter, but it's like contingent on them improving the property. So that's another thing you want to look at. Hopefully, you know, they're not actually like being fraudulent and just manufacturing something, but there's so much money involved in these deals, you know, just human nature, it brings out, you know, some shady characters. So I would, proof of funds would be one thing, earnest money would be the other, and a short inspection period. Because then at least if the offer is real, great, you didn't run them off. But if it's a fugazi, you don't want to be under contract with them for 2 months, and now your house is held hostage and they're bringing people in and out, and you know what I mean? And it's a nightmare scenario. And sometimes they'll even like file a memorandum, which basically clouds title, and they can hold your house hostage later, where, you know, if you try to sell it to someone else, you have to pay them off first, which sounds crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but like they'll basically say they tried to sell it to you and that you didn't complete the deal. But when you file a memorandum, they don't check up on anything. All they got to do is spend $30 and send it in the recorder's office. And some scumbags actually make like a business practice out of this, where they just lock up deals under contract and file memorandums, and then just wait for the calls to come in when the person tries to sell it. So. But, you know, if it's something too where you might have some flexibility down the road on the sales price, I definitely would like to at least, you know, give us a shot to pass it over to the decision makers and see what our highest and best would be. Because we have a couple different programs that, you know, are a win-win in situations like this, where sometimes we'll even put money into the house and we'll use our expertise and our network and our people to do some sort of third-party sale where you don't have to deal with anything. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to hire anybody. It's kind of like a hands-off white glove experience where we deliver the result on a silver platter. But we would just need a little bit of margin in there because we're still going to have to pay the realtors, and we'll probably end up putting a little bit of money into the house and everything. But that might be another option, you know, if you don't want to spearhead this project on your own, because I'm sure you got other things going on besides just the house too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I know I gave you a lot to chew on, but you know, you can chat with your other half, and you know, you have my number now. I'm gonna text over my name. My first name's Rich,
Okay.
and my last name is
Okay.
Wonders. So I'll shoot that over here, and I'll just put home buyer.
Okay.
And then you can at least have me in your phone. And I mean, at the very least, if you have questions about the other people and you just need a third party to bounce an idea off, I've been in the business a while and I know every trick in the book. So I'll shoot you straight, you know, and I can at least be another friend to help you out here.
Okay, well, that sounds good. I appreciate it. You gave me a lot of information.
Thank you, Miss Tina. Definitely appreciate it. And hopefully we'll cross paths again sometime in the near future here.
I know. I hope so.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, you have a beautiful day. Thanks.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, cool.
Oh, that was awesome.
Sweet. So here's what we had to figure out, right? So it's listed for 510, and she says she wants 500. It's like, yo.
Yeah, that's not what she said on her last call. That's why I went. That's why I was talking to her about how much she wants to net. Because then I was able to get her down to like that 440. She was like maybe 430.
You know what it may be too? How long ago was your last call with her?
About 6 days ago.
It could be that they went and started looking at some places, or maybe her husband got in her ear and they're like, no, we really need this amount, you know what I mean? And maybe she changed her mind. But I mean, basically what I was doing here was I was laying the framework for her to have some realistic expectations. Because here's the thing, bro. Ain't no one gonna buy this thing for 500 that's a cash investor. Or 440. It just ain't happening, you know what I mean? So she either needs to hold on to it or try to list it with a realtor and see what she can get out of it. Or if she doesn't want to do either one of those, then that kind of leaves us as her only option. So I was just trying to educate her and just add value because there wasn't any low comps. It's already listed, so we can't even list it for 510 because it ain't selling for 510 and it's been on the market 182 days. So we would probably have to list it for like 480, 490. And that means we would have to be at like 400. So I was just trying to add value basically and see if there was, because sometimes too, when you start going down this road and these other options start getting eliminated, then now they kind of have like an epiphany and they're more open to like an actual realistic solution. But I can tell you this, right? We planted a good seed where now she's looking at the other guy side eye, and that'll probably save her from getting screwed over. And I have her trust, right? Because like I laid everything out. She has all these questions going through her head, and I confirmed what she was already thinking about her friend. Like, hey, look, that's her bestie. They like to drink martinis together and go hang out. But she ain't really doing a great job selling the house, unfortunately. Like you saw the pictures, like the pictures didn't look great. There's a bunch of things going, and she never even took it off the market when she was supposed to. So it was just sitting up there, just collecting dust. Like it's making it look worse every day that passes. It's going to be harder to sell it. You know what I mean? So cool. But that's like one where we can say, hey, look, we ran down every possible avenue. I took away any hidden objections. So now the only thing can be is she absolutely needs that amount of money. But I've also kind of closed that door of that being realistic. So now they might reset their expectations of, hey, look, we're either going to have to stay in this house and wait, or we're going to have to accept less money. So
what would you do with this lead? Would you put it like in the holding phase?
Yeah.
Or is it dead?
I mean, here's the deal, right? We have a lot of leads. So, like, it's not necessarily one I would want to circle back on anytime soon. I would maybe set like a thing in my calendar for like 2 or 3 weeks. Now, this could be something where she ends up calling me back in a couple days, like, hey, look, I talked to my husband. You know, he really needs to move because of X, Y, and Z. Like, we could find out something, that she'd been holding in her back pocket, right? Some new magic problem that she didn't want to disclose. You know what I mean? Because you could hear she was kind of playing poker with me a little bit too. So she could call back and spill the beans on that, where then maybe we still have a deal. Or, you know, it could be one of those things where it's like, hey, you know, we decided to just wait for a little bit. We really need the 500 and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, they got the HOA lien, right? And they haven't paid that. Maybe that's out of principle, or maybe they don't have the money. I don't know. And who knows why they really want to sell. I mean, if it's just her and her husband in a 5,500 square foot house, like, he's probably looking at it like, yo, I don't need this big bill. But it looks like they paid like very little for it. I think they paid like $250,000 or something for it when they bought it. It says they bought it for $277,000. So maybe they were just in the right place at the right time when they bought it, you know, and that market wasn't really popping like that. And now they're trying to get their equity and get the hell out. Or there could be some other problems she hasn't mentioned. But yeah, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, this is like a 3. So I wouldn't put a whole bunch of time into it. I think I've laid the groundwork where if something were to change, I think I'm going to be her first call, just how I left it. But this isn't something where I'm like, okay, let me call her back once a week until she sells, just because we have hotter leads than this to put our time on. You know what I mean? So I would maybe set up a call back for like 3-4 weeks or something, just to tap in with her and say, hey, how's everything going? And it could be like a 5-minute call. You know what I mean? If nothing's going, or if it is going, then at least we can open up that door.
Okay. I'm just updating my notes here.
Okay, thank you. Sweet. Let's see what the chat's saying here. So I got IG up. Enlightened Elite says it's definitely a bigger motivation that she's not disclosing. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. There's something going on there. Someone says bass wholesalers, I guess you meant to say bad wholesalers. Not everyone's doing bad business. It's true. Not everyone's doing bad business. We're certainly not. And the only people that get exposed are the ones that are lying and saying that they're cash buyers. And, you know, if they're offering 500, they're jackasses, because they're never going to be able to sell it for that. So that's the only person that got thrown under the bus. What else we got on here? Cool. Not a whole lot of questions. Not me too. Is it for me too? Is it skipping for anyone else? Yeah, my connection was kind of crappy. So if you're on Instagram, you should be on my YouTube, because that's where all the new videos are going to be going, including this one. I'm going to post this on YouTube. I'll maybe cut out some of the slower parts, but I think there's a lot of good stuff. Now, obviously this wasn't a signed deal, but there's a lot to learn from this, because these same methods will work with the seller in a better situation. It will uncover some hidden motivation. It'll also push out the bad people that are clogging up the pipeline of getting this deal closed, right? And you know, it'll show you how to actually genuinely help the seller too, because look, we only want to work with people that it's a win-win. So, okay, cool. All right, I'm signing off, IG. Cool.
Oh my God, that was so awesome.